Hey everyone, today I'm going to review the Realme GT. First of all, big thanks to Realme for providing this review unit. The first thing I want to say is this phone comes in different variants. The one that I have here comes with the global ROM with Google Play Store already installed. There's also the China variant. I'm not sure if Google Play Store is included with that, but from what I've read online, it seems like Google Play Store can be installed very easily on the Realme GT. These are the items included in the larger than usual box. We have the Super Dart charger. Based on my experience, I was able to charge the phone's 4500 mAh battery from 0 to 100% in 45 minutes with this. You can charge the phone for 10 minutes and you can get around 20% battery life back. 20% battery life translates to 1 hour of gaming or 2 hours of on-screen time, like when you're checking social media, emails, or watching YouTube videos. This is a 1 meter long USB-C to C cable, SIM card ejection tool. They have also included a very simple, clear, soft silicone case. All 4 corners of the case are raised, so if you want to, you can place the phone with the screen facing down and it should be fine. And this edge here is also raised to protect the camera module. A screen protector is already applied on the phone and the quality seems to be quite good in the sense that it doesn't affect the colors or viewing angles. I like the design of the phone. It's very compact. It weighs 186 grams, which is a good weight for a phone this size. And I like that you can use this phone very easily with one hand. You can stretch your thumb very easily to the other side. There is a fingerprint sensor right at the bottom there, so you can reach that very easily as well. The phone has rounded corners, minimum bezels, and the overall build quality is really solid. I read online that this frame is actually plastic, but it has this finishing that makes it look like metal. The display is flat with no curved edges on the side, which is something I really like. This phone is available in 3 colors. The one that I have here is dashing blue. They have dashing silver and racing yellow. If I get to choose, I would definitely go with racing yellow because I think it looks really nice. The blue here is a bit subtle for me, and there is this V pattern that goes down. It's actually quite nice, but I prefer racing yellow. The glass back can be quite slippery, so it may be good to have a case on it. The racing yellow model comes with vegan leather, so that should provide a bit more friction, a bit more grip. Colors on this 6.4-inch Super AMOLED display look great. And this display has 120 Hz refresh rate, so everything feels really smooth and snappy. This is a bright display with good contrast even under direct sunlight, so everything can still be read very easily. This display supports HDR, but at the time of this video, you can't get HDR with Netflix. You can get HDR when playing HDR videos on YouTube, and the image quality is actually quite good. These are the speakers right at the top and the bottom. The audio quality and call quality is good. The audio is loud and clear, and this phone happens to have a 3.5mm audio jack as well. That's the USB-C charging port. Volume buttons are on the left side, and that's the tray for the dual nano SIM. Unfortunately, there is no micro SIM card slot. The base model comes with 8 GB of RAM and 128 GB of storage. Android 11, Realme UI, and the bloatware that's included takes up 20 GB, so you are left with just 108 GB before you install any apps and take any photos. So if you need more storage, I highly recommend you upgrade to the other model with 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. There is NFC, Wi-Fi 6, 5G, connection speed is really fast. You can draw gestures on the display to quick launch specific apps. So for example, if you use Google Pay, you may want to assign that with a gesture for quick launch. I'm not going to show you that here because I don't want to show you my credit card details. Let me just show you how I can open the camera with a gesture. Face unlock and the fingerprint sensor works really quickly and effectively, and the fingerprint sensor is really useful if you are wearing mask. Auto brightness works really effectively. Realme UI is a very clean design, and I'm sure you will be able to get used to it really quickly, and there are a lot of customizations available. Some of the customizations that I like are the always on display, because there is no notification light on this display. To know whether or not you have any notifications, you can use the always on display. I'm not sure why, but this always on display was really bright yesterday, but now it's very dark, and I wasn't able to find any settings to adjust the brightness for this. This is how bright always on is supposed to look. If I find a fix, I'll let you guys know in the video description below. There is raise to wake. There is double tap to power on, unlock, double tap on any empty space to lock. There is multitasking. Just swipe up with 3 fingers and launch another app that you want and just resize the window. If you need additional shortcuts, you can go into Realme UI under Convenience Tools. You can use Assistive Ball. This will let you have this ball on the display, so you can configure different shortcuts to how many times you tap the ball. So for example, you can tap once to go to the home page, double tap twice to lock the screen, or tap and hold to do a screenshot. There's also this smart sidebar here, where you can drag out this tab here to have access to some quick shortcuts, and these are customizable. SMS already comes with the spam filter built in. Realme has included a compass app, so this is quite useful when it comes to using maps. To back up this phone, you have to use HeyTap Cloud, and they only provide 5 gigs of free storage. So to back up a 128 gigs phone, you will have to get the 120 gigabyte plan, which is around $2 per month. If you don't want to back up this phone using their cloud service for whatever reason, you can do what I do, use Google Photos to back up the photos and install Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive to store the files and back them up online. The main 64 megapixel camera will take 16 megapixel photos, and the image quality is quite good. The image quality for the ultra-wide camera is also pretty decent. I was able to get good colors, and the bokeh or the background blur is quite natural and convincing, and the overall camera operation, it's very quick, and the overall image quality, it's pretty good. The limitation to the camera system here is there is no telephoto lens, so if you want to take photos of small objects, well, you have to work up. And if you use digital zoom, the image quality is going to be affected, but it's actually not that bad if you just use 2x digital zoom. If you use 5x, the JPEG compression and the image quality degradation, it's very noticeable. These are the general settings you can change when recording videos. The resolution and the frame rate locked to 60 or 30 FPS. Other video recording modes available are dual view, which will use the front and back camera at the same time. This will give you a split screen view. Slow motion, time lapse, and movie is for more manual controls. In movie mode, you will record in this aspect ratio, which is around 2:1. You can adjust the EV, manual focus, white balance, and choose from a list of shutter speeds, which does not include 1/25 or any factor of that. You can choose the ISO, and while recording, you can switch between the zoom and the ultra wide smoothly. Overall gaming experience on this phone is terrific, as you can expect with Snapdragon 888. The screen resolution is 2400 by 1080, so this resolution is considered quite sharp for a display this size when you view it from normal distance away. And the colors, as mentioned earlier, they look great. Overall performance is very smooth. The phone will get slightly warm when you are doing intensive gaming, but it's about the same temperature as when you are charging the phone. Now for Realme, they have included this game space app for you to change the performance mode of the game, like how you can optimize the gaming performance. But the thing is, this is totally unnecessary because you are using Snapdragon 888. It will play any game you want to play on this phone without any problems. When gaming on this phone, the battery will drain faster. It drains 20% with 1 hour of gameplay. The maximum frame rates you can get when gaming is 60 FPS. I believe that's an Android limitation at the time of this review. Battery life of this phone is really good. I can get 1 day use with 5.5 hours of on-screen time, and at the end of the day I can still get 25% battery life left. By the way, I don't use the phone for 5.5 hours each day, so with my typical usage with just a few hours of on-screen time, I can get around 40 to 50% battery life at the end of the day. If you're using the phone for gaming, it's going to drain the battery much faster, obviously. If you game for 1 hour, it drops 20%. So if you game continuously, you can get maybe 4 hours of gaming non-stop. And now let's talk about the downsides for this phone. There is no IP water resistance rating, so be careful when you're using this when it's drizzling or out in the wet. There is no micro SD card slot. The bloatware takes up 20 gigs, and some of the bloatware apps cannot be uninstalled. For example, Netflix cannot be uninstalled. The glass back is slippery, so you may want to use a case. There is no optical image stabilization for all 3 cameras, so when you are recording handheld video, it will rely on electronic image stabilization, which may add some visual artifacts to your video. The macro lens included is not as useful as a telephoto lens. Selfie camera is just limited to 1080p resolution, and there is also no OIS. I'm using Camera Tool API to see what camera settings can be changed, and here at the target FPF ranges, unfortunately, it says that I cannot record at 25 FPS, and I happen to live in a country that uses 25 FPS or that frequency for the electricity. So when I record with this frame rates, the lights in my videos, they will flicker. Even when I set the anti-bending setting with the Open Camera app to 50 Hz, I wasn't able to get rid of the flickering. There's no way for me to record at 25 FPS. The photo quality of the main camera and the ultra wide is actually pretty good. The macro camera is just a 2 megapixel camera, so the resolution is not that great. And to use the macro lens, you have to go into the more settings to choose macro. You can't just swipe here, so it's a bit inconvenient. And when it comes to recording videos, you can zoom in, but you cannot zoom out into the ultra wide. And when you zoom in, it's actually a digital zoom. It's not like optical zoom, so the image quality is not that good. So I'm going to play you some video footage that I've recorded, and you can judge the video quality for yourself. Tiffany, do you buckle ready?
Yeah.
Buckle ready, huh? Unfortunately, it has started raining, and the noise you hear is actually from all the children in the childcare center. So halfway while riding, I had to change my kit into this very lousy quality raincoat. This is just meant for single use. I tore a hole through the raincoat immediately when I tried to unbutton this. And the macro mode of the camera, it doesn't work when you are recording videos. So the digital zoom quality is not very good. So every morning while riding the bicycle to the childcare center, my kid and I would go look for the neighborhood cats. This is the 2x digital zoom. 5x digital zoom. It's not easy to maintain the stability of the camera when you're using telephoto zooms. This is the video quality of the ultra wide angle lens. And this is the audio quality you can expect from the built-in microphones. Pay attention to the stabilization, the electronic stabilization. The audio recording quality of the built-in microphones is actually not too bad. However, to get the best audio recording, you will want to connect a wireless USB-C receiver, or you can use a lapel mic with this 3.5mm audio jack. The last thing I want to mention is, depending on where and who you buy this phone from, it may or may not come with a 1-year warranty. Right, to conclude, let me just give you the bottom line up front. I like this phone. This phone looks good. The screen is very beautiful. Super AMOLED with 120Hz refresh rate. The colors are fantastic, and you can use this under direct sunlight with no loss in contrast. Build quality is excellent. Battery life is fantastic, and it comes with super quick charging. Overall performance is very smooth, very snappy, thanks to the Snapdragon 888, and that's the main selling point to get this phone, so that you can get the most powerful chip in a smartphone right now. Image quality for the photos is good, but the image quality for videos are not that great. I actually make a lot of videos, so when I buy a phone, video recording capabilities is quite important to me, and there are certain features lacking in this phone when it comes to recording videos. More specifically, there is no telephoto lens. When it comes to taking photos, I don't mind the lack of telephoto, but when it comes to taking videos, I actually use telephoto quite frequently. And there is no way for you to choose the 25 FPS frame rate. You cannot choose 50Hz anti-banding, so when you're filming lights, there is always going to be flickering, at least in my country, Singapore. And the image quality for the videos, the compression, the electronic stabilization, it's just not as good compared to what you can get with optical image stabilization and higher bit rate. So the main downside for this camera really is the video recording capabilities, but hey, people are not buying this to record videos with, they are buying this for gaming, and this is a fantastic phone for gamers, or for anyone who wants a smooth performing phone with fantastic battery life. Alright, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I hope this review is helpful. See you again. Bye.